just making memories here, guys.
Rene.
Yeah.
We're collecting memories.
That car ride was a memory.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right, ready to go.
Come on.
Head up.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Lord, as always, we come to you humble. We come to you hungry. We come to you patient. We ask that you continue to rain down your love and mercy upon us. Send down your guardian angels to be with us on this field here today. We ask, as always, you be with Kevin and Rod, be with the spotters, be with us on the field and at the plate, be with our hands and feet. Allow us to play together. Let the name on the front of the jersey show through. It only be exceeded by our passion on this field here today as we pray.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses.
Yo, this is Set Ready Ball, the Jet Life Podcast, episode 10. I'm Richie, the big noise of Beatball Flores. We are going to continue the journey of the San Antonio Jets 2019 World Series stunt. You heard in the last episode that we lost a tough game 30-28 to the undefeated now Indy Thunder. And with our one loss, we had to play under the lights against the Boston Renegades in the third place winner go home matchup. I had the fortunate opportunity to get my number called to play in that game. We have some sounds of that game for you. Before we get to that, we have some of our traditional voices from our Jets, 3 more of our players, my teammates, my buddies, my boys. So without further ado, let's get rolling into that. Up to bat. Number 7, David DSmith. What the hell is that, dude? What you drop, man?
I dropped my whiteboard that I write my workouts on in the garage. I picked it up now.
Oh, man, David Smith, man, giving us the play-by-play of crushing down the household. What kind of cereal you got over there, brother? What kind of cereal?
I got a Fruit Loops, Honey Bunches of Oats, some Rice Krispies.
A whole bunch of bitches of oats. Can we cuss on here?
Of course we could cuss on here, Papa. It's a podcast, Papa. Jet Life Podcast, Papa. Well, thanks for telling me about your cereal, man. I know you got lots of kids, so I'm sure cereal goes a long way.
Well, one of the kids eats like 3 boxes by themselves, so we just ran out of WIC, so we can't get free milk anymore. So I was like, I got to cut back.
Daddy David got to lay down the law, right. All right, baby, let's get on to business, beatball business. Give us your role on the team, your Jet Life moment, all that good stuff.
Number 7, this is my 3rd season. I'm fairly new at this. My job currently is to smash my Jet Life moment. On the field, probably had to be in last year's World Series when, I crushed the ball down left and it kind of died. Everybody started chanting, tick, tick, tick. And I could hear Houston kind of all excited about it. And I was like, as I walked back past their bench, I was like, I'm going to do it again. I don't know what you're laughing at, Next pitch, bam, hit it down the right field line. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, man, I like how you said that your job is to smash because you are a beatball murderer, man. Sometimes when you connect with it, even though Kevin puts it on the right side, away from the speaker, and you just put that bat on it, you're a CrossFit champion, and you've got these big old 24-inch pythons that you just smash beat balls, man. That's why you're the best designated hitter we got. Every time David Smith comes up to the plate, people will back up. They'll back up their outfielders. They'll back up, their infielders. Everybody is kind of hoping to maybe catch it, but D. Smith, DH, all day, baby.
So I've been married to my wife, Crystal, for 12 years. And we have 4 kids. Emery's 17, Kaylee's 10, Marcus is 8, and Bryson just turned 5. So 2 boys, 2 girls. Yeah, they keep me busy. So the way I found beatball was kind of funny because, me and Crystal hadn't been on a date in a while, and we were kind of itching for a date, but I was kind of thinking about what to do. And then one of our members at the gym, we were having a surprise birthday party, or we got invited to a surprise birthday party, and I didn't really want to go because I'm not the type to go out to bars or clubs that I'm not that tired. This is not me, so I don't like doing that. So they're trying to get to school, and I was like, nah, I don't want to, you know. But you know, my wife was giving me that look, like, man, if we don't go out, you know, like, you know, it's gonna be an unhappy home. So we ended up going, and I run into Zach. Zach was there. His friend was going to the same party, and I saw him with his cane. We just started talking, and like one of the first things he asked me was if I ever played b-ball, and I was like, yeah, you know, at the school for blind when I was a kid, but it was nothing. It wasn't a big deal. And he kind of told me about the NBBA and how it's a league, and there's, you know, championships and regional tournaments, and I thought that was really cool. So I got into b-ball.
Yeah, better late than never, my friend. We're glad to have you, man. The Jets are glad to have you. So tell me about this CrossFit, man. Are you like black belt, or what's the deal on the CrossFit?
I got a CrossFit level 2. There's 4 levels in the CrossFit training kind of pyramid, and I'm a level 2 CrossFit coach. I've been probably doing that for about 2013.
Man, well, thanks for sharing that with us, buddy. Anything else you want to leave about Jet Life?
Yeah, this team's changed my life, and so, yeah, I love y'all, man. So.
All right, now, moving on. Up to bat, number 4, Aaron, Double A, Almanza.
All right, man. What's up, Richie Rich? Yeah, so my name is Aaron Almanza. Most of the league and my team, I go by Double A. That's what they call me. I am number 4. Man, Jet Life moment. Man, there's so many to pick from since day one. Wouldn't call this a moment. I call this a moment of, like, hilarity to me. It was me and El Captain, Axel Cox, were walking. I think this was during our very first year. We're coming back from one of the games. I don't know if it was a Tuesday or a Wednesday, but we're coming back from a game. I think we already showered, and we might have already came back from dinner. We're trying to get to our rooms. Me and him are walking. I walked about maybe 5 to 6 steps in front of him, and I just decided to just lay out in the middle of the hallway, even though he's coming, and I'm just like, man, this dude's about to trip. Yeah. Sure enough, he does. The joke's kind of on me because he hit the shot of my ribs. he went flying down. His cane went down halfway down the hall. I was like, oh, shit. He was like, what the fuck was that?
Come on, man. You can't be tripping our captain early in the tournament, man, or bruising your ribs, brah. Come on, man. Nah, I get you though, man. So many times that we're just always picking on each other, just like brothers, man. I can remember. I think Axel was the first one who ever like rolled up a towel and like one of those wet towels and like smacked me in the neck with it or something. And that's when I realized that this beat ball brotherhood's a little painful, but for real.
I don't know. People don't think I'm about that, man. It was just me and like good old times. We're still best buds right now. But for those of you who don't know, Zachary Arambula is our cousin on our mom's side. And man, I think as soon as he had his first year, I think he was me and him are the same age, He's older than me by a couple months. But I mean, after his first World Series, and I think he was 16 at the time. I mean, almost immediately, I feel like he had contacted me and my brother and was asking for us to come play, come join the Hawks, come down to Austin, come try it out. And at the time, I was still in high school because obviously we're the same age, and I was kind of in my teens, obviously doing my own thing. So I always said no because I want to do my own thing. I want to always be with my friends, being kind of that stubborn teenager. When he asked me to come, I was like, you know what? If you're asking me to come to Team San Antonio, I'll do it. And I couldn't have been happier with the choice I made. It was amazing to see there's so many blind athletes, doing the thing out in the field, hitting balls, picking up balls in the field. It's crazy. I just never knew that was that could be attainable. It just blew my mind. Yeah, once my first year happened, I was immediately hooked. My only regret is not starting sooner.
Yeah, man. Well, better late than never. As always, like I told David, man. One cool thing about you is you got some speed, brother. You're fast, and when you hit that ball, you get to that base really quickly, and that's the key, man. Keep it up. All right, we're gonna move on to your brother. I think he's on the line now. Up to bat, number 11, Rene Hamanza.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad to be on the podcast. What's up, Rich? Shout out to all the Jets. Like Richie said, Rene Almanza, everybody on the team, and sure some of the guys around the league have heard my nickname is Rene. I'm number 11. So yeah, this will be my 4th year going to the series. I really enjoy it. Every moment of it. There's not one moment that I can kind of pinpoint. I guess the one moment that sticks out in my mind that I guess I'll never forget. We were at our first World Series, and we were at Texas Roadhouse. We have a few restaurants that we frequent while we're at the series, wherever it's at, and we were all sitting together at Roadhouse, just kind of hanging out, eating food. And there was a waiter or waitress, I guess, kind of somewhere in the restaurant that just let a tray of dishes fall, and it made this loud crash and bang. And I just yelled out the team motto, just yelled out "Jet Life," and everybody busted out laughing, and everybody in the restaurant kind of turned and looked.
It's awesome that we seem to have all similar or basically the same Jet Life moments that keep coming up. And Kevin used the restaurant crashing in the first ever public Jet Life yell by you as one of his moments. But yeah, man, how about continue on kind of how you found beat baseball and what it means to you and that kind of jazz.
I guess just some history, like Aaron touched on it while he was talking about his story and how he came to know about beat baseball and how we came to the Jets. For us, when we were up here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we were in the low vision program while we were in school, and they had this thing that they would do at the end of every year, and they would have like a little picnic, and all the blind and visually impaired students would all get together. And I think they would borrow equipment from actually the Roadrunners because they had bases and they had a couple beat baseballs, and so we would kind of mess around, like you said. Never with blindfolds. We would hit off a tee, and there was usually a lot of kids out in the field trying to, find the beat baseball, and we were just, running the bases and stuff. So we kind of got a taste of it then, but we really didn't know how competitive it was from that standpoint, just because it was kind of more of like a fun activity to do with kids and introduce them to the sport. And then, like Aaron said, Zach's our cousin, and him joining the Hawks and his first year, his rookie year, the season that he had, and just kind of keeping in contact with him and always having that in the back of our mind and any kind of conversation we'd have with him, he would always kind of bring it up. I don't know if it was a year before the Jets started or 2 years. Zach actually came up here. He came with the Hawks to scrimmage the Roadrunners, and so me and my brother went to go see them, while they were scrimmaging. So we kind of stood behind the Hawks and watched the game. I guess he was the old pitcher for the Roadrunners, Frank.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of his
Frank
last
Mathena.
name.
Yeah, Mathena.
Yeah. He actually came up to me and Aaron, and right away kind of like picked the side of the crowd and was asking us, what we were doing and why we were there. Not like in a bad way, just. And I think he could kind of tell that we were visually impaired, low vision, and was asking us why we weren't playing. And actually, at the end of the conversation, he basically said, like, well, if it's meant to be, you'll find your way to the sport. And then, sure enough, with Kevin starting the Jets and Zach calling us, and obviously with us being from San Antonio, we were like, well, heck yeah, we'll give it a shot. It's kind of been around us, and this is maybe our opportunity and our time to see what it's all about. And then after that first tryout / warm-up practice, whatever you want to call it, that we had there in San Antonio, I mean, it was a done deal.
Yeah, man, there's a few people out there that could recognize a low vision, visually impaired, blind beat ball player right off the street, and Frank Mathena is one of those guys. Hey, Rene, what's one of those other nicknames we got you? I know we got Nene, but we also got, the other one.
Before the game, they call me the preacher because I lead the prayer out in the huddle.
Yeah, and you guys heard that at the beginning of the podcast. That was Rene leading us in prayer. That's something that I have really enjoyed about being on the San Antonio Jets. San Antonio has a rich Catholic history, and the Jets have adopted that. In Austin, we used to have a little prayer before the game, but it was a little more non-denominational, where we take it to tradition all the way, Catholic style, in San Antonio. All right, thanks, guys. I really appreciate you guys' contributions. We're going to move to the sounds now of the Under the Lights semifinal winner go home game against the Boston Renegades, San Antonio Jets. You'll hear Andrea Scott giving the play-by-play, of course. Usually you would hear me and Demo kind of grumbling on the side of the play-by-play, but my number was called. I was put into the game for Isaiah Wilcox. Let's see, do we win or do we go home?
So, just getting started with this game. Boston's the home team. I don't think I've ever been in a game this late. Line drive up the middle. It went by almost everyone. Oh. Yeah, Paxton came over and snatched that one up. So that's 3 up and 3 down for the Jets in the top of the first.
Check it. Yeah, not this one. We'll get the next one, bro.
Is that Paxton? I guess Joe Mack is up next. So in the bottom of the first, Boston leads 1-0.
Come on, man!
The second batter. Short little grounder to the left side. And Richie Flores with the putout. What's up, Richie?
There you go, Donut! Richie! Jet, live!
Grounder up the middle. Oh, right to Axel. He gets the putout. So Axel makes the second putout.
Hey, way to listen to your ears there, Will. Good job, baby.
Next up for Boston, number 53. Sean Devenish. Thank you.
Got the game winner against Houston. Yep.
Yeah. We got the walk-off against Houston. That's a fly ball to the left side. Lupe's fielding it anyway, but no.
He's safe!
Yeah, Lupe's saying it's dead. We do have a field on.
No tick! Quiet play! Yeah!
Are you serious?
Wow. Jason Price is out in the field, and he says he can hear that ball, so that'll be a run for Boston. And ground ball up the left side. It's by Richie to Zach. Zach gets down and gets it. All right, so that's 3 outs, and we'll go into the top of the second. Score is 2-0 Boston right now.
Let's go, baby. Let's check in now.
Up to bat, Aaron Almanza. Here comes that speed. Here we go.
Fly ball to mid-left. Mid-right. Bounce over their short guy. That should be. Oh. Very close to it. I thought it was out farther, but.
Cocks up! Head down!
I heard a foul.
All right, baby.
Ground ball up the left side by Proctor to their deep guy.
Yeah!
That was Thaxton that came up with it, but not quite in time. So Lupe is safe. Next batter is Zach Arambula.
SMH big
Loop it up! Next batter, Cam.
All right, Guillermo! Try that.
Come on, baby. We got to grind this out, Kev. We're going to grind it out, baby.
Will Lopez up for the Jets.
We're with you. Dig deep, Kev.
That's a line drive to the left side. Bounces over 2 people by the third.
There you go, Will! Let's go, Papa!
Ground ball to the left side. So he called the runner out, but Kevin is asking him to check it out because he said that he had it against his body still.
You saw it?
Yeah, he changed it to safe. So we're going into the bottom of the second, and the Jets are ahead 4-2.
Top of the order, guys.
Foul.
This is what it sounds like when the big noise doesn't pick up the ball correctly.
Tie now? Sorry. A ground ball to the left side. Richie, it went by Richie. He's going after it. Safe. So now Boston's ahead 5-4.
And then here's one where it goes the big noise way.
Ground ball to the left side. Richie bounced off Richie. He went back for it.
He did not drop the ball.
He dropped it, but he got it back in time, I thought. They want to consult with the base judge, but he wasn't paying attention, so they're talking about it still. Though.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Good job, Richie. Hey, Richie.
Right. They called him out.
And here's the third straight ball hit to me where the big noise, I don't know, out of practice.
Good job. That's a ground ball to the left side. Richie gets down. Oh, went by him. Now it's 6-4.
Let's go, defense!
Kevin's spotting now.
Actually, I got enough shot that
Kevin's out there spotting.
And here's a foul ball, but do y'all hear a cat anywhere in this sound? Communication is key. Here we go.
Ball at the left side to Lupe. He gets down, gets it.
There you go, baby!
Top of 3. Boston is ahead 6-4. The Jets are about to bat. Oh, line drive up the middle. That's a hard hit ball. Takes a bounce off the body. And he scores.
Jet Life!
Nice hit.
Here goes Zach!
Tie game. It's a ground ball up the middle left. It went by Proctor. Bounced off their body again. And he scored. And the Jets take the lead.
Jet Life!
Bless you.
Thank you.
Score now is 7-6 Jets. And David Smith is at the plate. High fly ball to the left side. I throw in far. He dove and missed it. That'll be a run. That ball was gone. Nice hit, David. Defensive timeout.
DC?
So Boston's having a defensive conference.
Cocks up! Heads down! Jet Life!
High fly ball up the middle, hard hit ball. It's deep. He dives, it bounces off his body, and it's gone. Now it's 10-6. Jets are ahead, 10-6.
Trust each other, baby. Trust each other out there.
Okay. Ground ball on the left side along the line. It went under their deep guy. Paxton dives. And he comes up with it. That was a great play by Paxton, but just a little too late. So going into the bottom of third, the score is 12-6 Jets. Slow ground ball up the left side. He slipped coming out of the box. He looks like he might be hurt. Yeah, he just gave up because he slipped and fell coming out of the box and he knew it was a little grounder. Richie Flores with the put out. That was Thaxton, number 2.
I like playing under the lights.
12-8.
All right.
You guys need time? Ground ball up the left side to Richie Flores. Oh, it goes under him. He got it. Nice play, Richie!
There you go, Richie!
All over it, Richie. Hey, is that ball okay? No.
So Thaxton scores, and that makes it 14-9. Jets are leading. And it is 8:30 p.m. Foul.
Heads up!
Who told you about the game day moved up? Who told you about the game day moved up? That's a pop up to center. We're right by Axel, just on the right. He overran it a little bit. Didn't quite get him. So we have a tie game again. Slow little grounder to left. Richie gets up on it. He's going to get it. Yeah. Nice play, Rich.
Go, Richie!
Tied up. 14.
Let him hang!
High fly ball up the middle. That's gone.
Let's go! Let's go!
Yeah.
Let's go!
Nice hit, David. Huh? Yeah.
Get up!
That was nice. That was gone. Nice hit.
Let's go, baby!
DSmith.
Play 2 more games, baby!
And it's 15-14 now. Jets in the top of the 5th. Hard hit grounder on the left side by Proctor, by Joey. Oh, he dropped it. He dropped it.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Jet line!
Line drive up the middle. It's bouncing and rolling. Thaxton dove and missed it. So Zach scores.
Let's go!
I think it's 17-14 Jets. Now up Ricky Rosica for the Jets. Fly ball to mid-right. Drops behind Rob Diaz. It's gone. Mike, we're in the bottom of the 5th. Score is 20-15. Jets are leading. High fly ball to the left side. Right, bounces in front of Loop. He gets down. He gets it.
Good communication! That's my Hall of Famer, baby! Here you go!
Lots of people watching. 47. High fly ball to left. Bounces. Oh, it bounces.
Got him! Yes!
Yeah. Yeah. Nice play! Nice play, Zach!
That was a badass put out, Zach.
20-16.
All right, guys. This is it. Let's go up.
Let's bury him right here. What do you say, guys?
1 inning to play. Go, man. We do it. 1 inning to play. Let's bust out. Go.
That was a badass put out, Zach.
Yeah. Give me some water, mama.
High fly ball.
It's on the ground, though. Yeah! Nice beat ball hit, Lupe Perez.
Next up for the Jets, Ricky Rizika.
Big meat.
It's a grounder up the middle. That's between them all, though.
Ricky bang all day. Who we gonna bang when Ricky runs away? Hey, to Cincinnati.
Richie, what's the score?
24.
24. That's what I thought.
16.
That's 26.
There is your dagger.
Yeah, this is their last at bat. They have to score 10 to tie. This one he gets. Final score is 26-17. You did get an email? Yeah. Championship game 8 a.m. tomorrow, so we don't get to sleep in.
We got word at the end that you hear from Andrea that a usual start time of a championship game is 10:30 a.m. on Saturday morning, and we got word because of rain that they were going to move the game up to 8 a.m. So we finished, I don't even know, maybe after 10 p.m. with Boston. And on Friday night, most of the teams are out of the tournament, and so you like to kind of go out and hang out and talk to people and kind of reminisce over the 4 grueling days. And we just had a grueling day. The Jets were tired, but we knew we still had business to take care of Saturday morning. I know for a fact that I was just so kind of jacked up and didn't get to bed until 1 a.m., and I can only imagine what my teammates were feeling at that point. Meanwhile, the Thunder had been kind of just coasting, had probably a really good steak dinner, and were watching us on the streams to see who they were going to play, and they knew that the San Antonio Jets were going to wake up at 5:30 in the morning and come do this thing again. And so we'll bring you that next episode. I swear to God, I'm going to do better next time. It's been a little bit of a long one, but from the bottom of our hearts to the top of our bats, we appreciate y'all for listening. Jet Life.